Alrighty, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started so that way y'all can get back to your families and dinner and everything else you got on this Thursday night. It's great to have y'all back. For those who I haven't met yet, my name's Morgan. I'm the executive director for sports. And then the other guy that you'll see here is Danny, who has come back to sports with us for this season. He's been working in aquatics, and we pulled him back over for a few months. So he's going to be overseeing the North Park, Northwest Airport, YMCA's, along with McDonald. And then I'll be overseeing everything in the south part of the region, and if anything sports complex related, Hood County and Joshua. So you'll see us both around. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen with y'all. Let's see, where's my share? There it is. Okay. There we go. All right. So since y'all have all coached with us before, we're just going to kind of go over a few highlights of the program. We're not going to go super in depth with all the Y culture because y'all have been with us for a while and you know what we're about here. So we're going to highlight a few important things that you'll need to talk to your families about, especially if they're new as well. So right here, here's all of our contact info. Like I said, it has all the branches that we'll be overseeing in our emails. I didn't put our phone numbers on here because what you do if you need to call us is you can call your YMCA that you're associated with, and they will transfer you over to our extensions. And if we're not sitting right at our desk, those will go to our emails and we can check them at whichever branch we're at. As you can see, we both have multiple branches, so we're working at those branches each week. So email is always the quickest way to get a hold of us. But again, if you need to call us, just call the Y and they'll get you over to our phones. So Danny, you want to go ahead and cover the expectations for our coaches?
Sure. I think most of you guys know pretty much everything we're going to talk about as you've been coaching before. Communication's key here. Letting the parents know what's going on, especially if you got to change practice. If we communicate with you about a rained out game, change a game, just communicate that with them. Remember, you're a leader on and off the field. So whether it's during the game or in the parking lot after the game, remember those kids are seeing what you do, both on and off the field. And then the core values, carrying honesty, respect, and responsibility. Just keep those at forefront when we're playing the game. And then everyone should have a volunteer app already. If you haven't done one in the last year, make sure you get that done. And then the concussion protocol online training needs to be done once a year as well.
And then, so for y'all that have been with us that have every color coach's shirt of the rainbow, y'all are more than welcome to wear any color you want to. We have extra, so we'll be handing out for new coaches. We'll have I think a couple orange ones left, some purple, some red. So as long as you have a coach's shirt on and you're identifiable on Saturdays, that's all we really need from you guys. So feel free to bring them out if you have a color like I know Kevin does of his team color. Y'all are more than welcome to wear that. And that's all we really need to be able to identify everyone. So I know if y'all been with the Y, you've heard of annual campaign. We are wrapping up the 2021 campaign right now from everyone who did donations last year. And for those of you who are at the sports complex, you got to see a little bit of that up close and personal to see what all of that is about. So we told the new coaches and the new parents last night that we are gonna, we start talking about it in the spring and start getting things ready to go because the fall is the big season. It's our big campaign push. So you'll see a couple sponsored jerseys out there if you're at some of the sites. And if you guys know in the next few months that maybe your business or someone that you know wants to sponsor a team or get into sports sponsorships, we have a couple different scholarship and sponsorship packages that you guys can help with, and I have that information, so just reach out to me. But just know, this past year our goal was to raise 1.2 million, and that goes all to scholarship funds. So kids who wouldn't be able to play soccer or do swim lessons, go to day camp or memberships, that all goes directly towards that. So it's super important for us to raise awareness about this and understand that it's a huge part of us being able to provide sports and provide all types of programs for our community. And then I'm going to cover our safety protocols, which y'all all know and love, and I harped on last season. So to be honest, not a lot has changed yet. possibly in the fall we'll be able to lighten up, but we just don't know right now in our world what that's going to look like. So as far as everything this season, it's going to be pretty much the same. All the spectators, players over 10, coaches and staff have to wear face covering when they get to the field. Players are the only ones that are allowed to remove their mask while playing. There are some kids I saw at a basketball gym this week that want to play with their mask on, and that's completely fine. That's their choice, but they don't have to. But all the spectators. So please, we harped on it to the new parents last night. We're going to harp on it to the parents, the returning parents tonight. Those masks have got to be worn. We don't want our staff to take away, to have to take away time from reffing their game or doing their work on the field to have to go over and ask someone to put their mask on. As some of y'all saw last season, we will ask people to leave if they won't comply with that, and we will not put up with any disrespectful behavior. So that is something that we really need the coaches and the parents to understand that we have a job to do, and we're going to have over 1,300 kids playing in our association this season, which is a decent amount more than last year. And we're going to have a lot of people out there, and we have to keep our field safe, our team safe, our kids safe. With more people going back to work, more kids going back to school, we don't want anyone passing this along and having to miss 2 weeks. We don't want a team being out because folks weren't being safe. So please understand that our staff are going to be out there. They have a job to do, and they're going to do it. And while everyone might not agree with it, which I completely understand, we do ask that everyone respect it, and respect that if you're coming to our facilities, that these are our protocols that we intend to follow this season. So, like I said, we are going to have a lot of people, but we do ask that no more than 2 adults come with each kid. Siblings are allowed. So if you have younger or older kids, they are absolutely allowed to come, but we really need to limit those adults to 2 per kid. And I know it's tough when other family members want to come see the kids play, but again, we're in this time in our world right now where we have to limit things that we're doing, and it's really tough, but it will pay off. And our ultimate goal is to make sure that the kids get to play and that the kids are safe, and that they're getting to do a normal activity, with a lot of them still doing virtual school. So we don't want to jeopardize that in any way. We will again continue to do the home team and spectators on one side, away team and spectators on the other. So that way, especially with the younger kiddos, if they need to go find their parents, they're really close and they can find them. And we will have our social distancing markers on the field again. So that way family groups can sit in one together, or sit in their own. And then again, we're asking that y'all do not do group post-game snacks. If the parent wants to bring their own kid, each parent wants to bring their own kid a chip and a drink, that's totally fine, but we're just not going to do group pass outs of that right now. And then we are doing our sportsmanship award again, which a lot of y'all got to see last season. We sent out the little pictures in our weekly email. And so as a reminder, after week 1, we'll ask for nominations. And again, this is not mandatory. This is just, if you think you had an awesome kid that week, tell us about it, tell us why. And we'll choose one person each week, give them their little sportsmanship award shirt, snap their picture. And what I started doing last season is sending all of our nominations to our executive directors and our membership directors, and they loved it. They were thrilled to get that every week. Some of them were able to share it on their branch Facebook pages, and it was just such put a great smile on their face each week. All right, and then Danny's going to talk to y'all about practices.
So practices, we do want you guys to host 1 practice a week, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the age group you run. I understand and don't expect that it's going to work for everybody on your team. Sometimes you just can't make it work for 12 people. You're volunteering your time. We appreciate that. We've talked to the parents about, listen, these guys are volunteering their time to work with your kids. They can't make everybody's schedule work all the time. So do your best to work with your team to make something work. For every reason there's a kid that it just doesn't work, they can reach out to Morgan or I, and we can see what we can do. But you don't need to bend over backwards to get the one kid who can only make it on Friday at 4 o'clock for practice. That's a situation we can handle, but we'll get rosters to you, I believe, starting tomorrow, depending on background checks, and the practices can start the week of the 15th. So player space, everybody should be used to it, have used it before. I think this is a game changer. For coaches, for us, as far as communication goes, if you haven't, I would recommend downloading the app. Your game schedule will be on there. It's easy for you to communicate via text message or email, whatever your parents prefer, and you can do both those in one go. Send a message to their email and their text, or the email and text, and then communication through there is just easy, simple, and good for you guys. So make sure you're using that. If you're not, we'll trust you, but please do as much communication as you can through PlayerSpace.
And you guys know too that when we send out the weekly emails, those all come through PlayerSpace. So just be checking those. There'll be some good information in there, but make sure the parents are familiar. If you guys choose to have your own little group text or group me, that's totally fine. But just know that communication from the Y is going to come through this website.
Hey guys, real quick, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So is there a PlayerSpace guru that I could reach out to?
That would be me, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah, just call me and we'll talk about it.
All right.
And then, so rules, we have sent out the link to where our rules are, which have been updated some this season. And then there's the link again up here. That's where we put everything on one page. So all of our branch calendars for the year, our return to play guidelines, and our rules are going to be on this page. So just as a review, our team limits did change a bit. The 3 and 4-year-olds are still playing 4 and 4, and they have a limit of 8 players. Our 5 and 6-year-olds did go up to playing 6v6 again, and then you'll have 10 players max. And then our 7 to 12-year-olds went up to 7v7 this season, and you'll have a max of 12 players. So you won't be overloaded on your rosters. Your kids will get playing time, and you'll have some subs if anybody's missing. We do ask that only the head coach and the one assistant are in the bench area, just so it doesn't get too crowded. And please make sure you're all wearing your coach's shirts. If you guys have an assistant that hasn't gotten a coach's shirt yet, then just let us know. Again, we're going to have a lot of those available at jersey pickup. And then also any playing of legal or ineligible players will result in a suspension. You guys know that no players that are not registered with the Y are allowed to be playing on the fields. It's a very big liability that we don't want anyone to have to burden, honestly, if anything happens. And then, we don't want any kids that are too old to be playing down, or any kids that are too young to be playing up at an older age division. Now, if you are missing some kids, which some coaches have before, if you're missing kids that you might not have enough for a starting lineup, you can always reach out to us or your opponent if you know the team you're playing, and let us know, and we'll see if the other team can lend players that week to help field a team. We don't want games to not be played because players are missing. So that's the spirit here, that we want to be able to play. We want the kids to have fun. If that means we got to share players some weeks, then that's what we have to do. But as long as those kids are out there every week and getting exercise, that's what we want to happen. And then also, any misbehavior from any coaches, parents, or players will result in suspensions. So, if we have an issue with coaches on the sideline, our staff will go talk to them. If we have issues with parents, we really like the coaches to approach them first, because you have that personal relationship with them and can probably talk them down a lot easier and quicker than we can. However, if we need to step in, we absolutely will. Our goal is to handle these things quickly and quietly. We don't want to disrupt the kids. We don't want the kids to have to witness any type of misbehavior from adults. And so if it's needed to ask a parent or a spectator to leave because of their behavior, we will. And depending on what happens, there might be suspensions coming down. So just again, share this information with your parents. At the end of the day, we're out there for the kids. And if they see any type of bad behavior going on, then they're going to think it's okay, not really knowing the situation. Alrighty, for our uniforms, we will have the same style that we did last season. I have it right here. We'll have all the different colors, but we will have the same style. So that is helpful in case if y'all end up having the same color that you did last year. Then if somebody leaves a jersey at home or it's not washed, you probably have some extras that you can use. Now, we will notify you when the jerseys come in. I promise. We will tell you. We will not hold the jerseys for days and do nothing with them. As soon as they come in, we sort the bags, we attach the rosters to the jerseys, we highlight whoever's jersey's not in there, we do all of our checks, And then as soon as that's done, y'all can pick them up. So please save Danny and I a few tens of emails by asking what day the jerseys are coming in, because as soon as we have them and we can distribute them, we will email you. This is probably going to be the week of the season, so I'm hoping to do distribution like that Wednesday or Thursday. But again, it just depends. We're ordering. We had close to 1,000 jerseys in our first order in the season. So, we will notify you of that, and we should have our first 2 jersey orders in before the season starts. So if anyone changes teams or registers after that second jersey orders placed, then their jersey will get in the second week of the season. And then, like usual, our rosters will have the jersey size. We understand that sometimes the parents choose the wrong size, which, we have to order the size that they put down. So if for some reason they ordered the wrong size, we can check our inventory and see if we have any extras, which we do have from previous seasons right now. So we'll try and do that. If it's a matter of one size too big, we just ask that you just tuck the shirt in. If there's kids on the team that can switch jersey sizes around and make it work, try to do that first. But reach out to us and we'll try and replace it if we're able to. And then as far as what happens next, we're going to double check and make sure that everyone has a clear background check on file. The email that I sent out this week, I kind of clarified some things that I found out, that yearly background checks just automatically renew. And if anything comes up, then we're notified. So you don't have to do anything with that. It's just the concussion training. But with the concussion training, you can't do it until the day it expires. So I thought you could do it the month it expires, but it's like literally the day of. So again, our main concern is that background check. So we have a system to know who all has cleared it. So Danny and I tomorrow will start giving coaches access to rosters, and we ask that you contact your parents as early as you can, no later than the 13th, because we've told folks that if they don't hear by then they can call the YMCA and find out who their coach is. But we really want to be able to have the coach reach out first and make that first connection. A lot of y'all like sending messages on PlayerSpace first. If you have a whole returning team, that's fine. They all know you. If you have new players on your team, please reach out to them. And with that phone call or text or email first, so that way the parent knows who you are, has your contact information, and you can verify that theirs is correct as well. And then if anybody comes back that you can't contact, we try and catch as many bad emails as we can, but there's still going to be some out there. So just let us know and we'll update that, so that way the parents are getting all the information. And then here are our emails again. If you have any questions, please make sure you contact us. We're always, here to help you guys. So we don't have a ton of people on here, so we can do a few questions if y'all have any right now. And then anything else, just make sure you send us over an email. So if anybody wants to unmute and ask a quick question, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes, sir, Miss James.
I didn't do soccer last year. I've just done this.
Yes, sir.
Coach Fitch. About let's see, corner kicks. It wasn't mentioned in the rules. I know what a corner kick is and how it's happening in soccer. Do we have corner kicks? It's just
yes, sir. Yes, yeah. Our refs will call those.
Okay, but they'll put that in the rules. But it's got the goal kick and saying penalty kicks, but it doesn't have the corner kick. But that is just a regular corner kick like it's in high school soccer. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
What is the size that the 12-year-olds will be playing on?
We have that in our rules. I want to say it's 60 by 30, but you can double check me on that. That is listed in our rule books. All the dimensions and so that I believe it's 60 by 30.
Yes, it is.
I did see it listed there, but last year we played at the North Park on kind of a makeshift field. And so I'm just wondering, is that what we're playing on again, or are we going to play on an actual field this time?
No, it is not. We are, we'll reach out. Danny will be emailing out the exact field locations. North Park will not be playing on there. We're just waiting to get our contract finalized with a school. So I don't want to tell you guys a certain one yet until that's finalized, but that should happen next week.
Hey, Morgan, this is Noel.
Hey.
I was just kind of hoping to make a comment or maybe a suggestion or maybe some support here, especially like on the 9 and up going on up. I was wondering if there could be some support for like both teams to put soccer balls next to the goals, opposing goals, because we lose a lot of time when a player kicks a ball off into space, chasing it down. So I was hoping maybe there could be some support, putting some balls around the goals. That way, when the ball goes flying, they have one ready to go to kick off.
And that's a great suggestion. I heard that towards the end of last season, and I think that's awesome. We'll include that in our first email to remind coaches, hey, because most kids bring their own balls to start out the game. So if you can put some by each goal, I think that's a fantastic idea. We'll do one more question. Anybody else?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Frida. So did I understand you correctly that our games aren't going to be at the Marine Creek fields anymore?
No, Northwest still plays at Marine Creek.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep, that did not change.
Okay.
Alrighty, y'all. So thank you all so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys. Look out for our emails. If you can't remember anything or some of your coaches weren't able to get on, we will be emailing out the recording tomorrow. And like I said, we'll start adding coaches to rosters and you can start contacting folks. So y'all have a good night. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan. Thanks, James.